And that one's good.
And he can time his passes so perfectly. Wow, what an assist.
For Cleveland, they've gotten 4 of 6 field goal attempts to drop in the first quarter. Stolen away, and it's the Heat on the break. Here's Winslow. That misses, had a chance to tie it there.
There was just enough defensive pressure to get him off balance and cause that shot to go awry.
Love outside. Goes back up. And it's Whiteside with the rebound.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over it.
Wade dishes to Bosh. Here's Mr. Fundamentals. The shot goes down and gets this game back to even. Mr. Fundamentals got his 3rd bucket of the night. Snatched away. And it's the Heat on the break. Irving with the steal. And now the fast break. Irving with the ball. Score it. His 3rd straight basket in 3 tries.
That is up-tempo basketball at its best. So much easier to operate in the open court when a steal triggers the break.
And really, basketball is about rhythm, and that allows your offense to flow better. Now let's see if they can build on it and keep this lead.
Here's Irving following the basket by Chris Bosh. There's the dish to LeBron from 11 feet away, and it's Whiteside with the rebound.
Well, I think he kind of alligator armed that one, short stroked it. After doing a nice job to get open, he didn't finish the shot.
The Cavaliers have gotten 5 of 10 shots to drop in this game so far. Right at the 50% mark. Withy, no good. Miami's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. In the corner, Winslow with it. Some nice ball movement here by the Heat. And they take the lead. And it's 9 points for Freak.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up. Great assist that time by Kyrie Irving.
The Heat have gone 6 of 10 from the field in this ballgame. Here's Bosh. And Miami going with a whole new group out there. Chris Bosh is checked in for Stoudemire. Winslow comes in for Josh McRoberts. And Mr. Fundamentals subbed in for Jody Meeks. So on the floor for Cleveland, LeBron and Love are the talented pair at the forward position. Bradley is out there with Kyrie Irving. And it's Withy in at the 5 spot. Now here's Bradley. Following the miss by Freak. And a wide open look for James. Yes, and it's Irving picking up the assist. Irving's got 3 assists tonight. Dang passes to Mr. Fundamentals. Sinks the 3-pointer. Mr. Fundamentals got 12 in the game.
The rapid-fire threes coming from everywhere.
Yeah, I'm not sure of the quality of that 3-point shot attempt right there, going at it the way they did, but it all worked out for them.
To the inside. Bosh. Good for another basket for him. Number 4 today. He's 4 of 8.
And fellas, in this quarter, he's improved on what was already a very good performance in period number 1.
Second chance shot, and the layup is up and in. Withy's got his first bucket in this one.
Really, the defense is helpless to stop a layup right there. Just too much of an advantage in terms of the mismatch.
Now let's send it to Doris from the sideline.
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Cavaliers had a huge game. He finished with 31 points and was just on point from deep, sinking what seemed to be an endless stream of threes. If you talk to his teammates, they'll tell you they weren't surprised. They were just waiting for him to break out like this. They'd like to see it again, Kevin.
All right, Doris, thanks so much for the report. You had to just marvel, guys, at what he was able to do that night, didn't you?
You know what? It was the game of basketball being played at its highest level. No question who their MVP was in that one.
No question whatsoever, Greg. I mean, that's a performance he and his fans will remember for a long, long time.
And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for Cleveland.
And it's been about their defense. They're playing with a frenetic pace, putting a lot of pressure on the ball handlers and forcing turnovers.
They've gotten their fair share of points off turnovers so far tonight, too.
And Kevin, they started the game shooting it so well. I'm surprised they haven't continued. They've got to get back to their strength.
Yeah, I mean, test the hot hand. You're exactly right. I say let those triples fly.
And here's Winslow, following the three-pointer by Kyrie Irving. Good on that shot, and with that, the Cavalier lead is cut down to just 8 points on the bucket from Mr. Fundamentals. Now, here's Bradley. He's got 5. Poke loose, and he finishes nicely on the layup. Winslow's got his first points of the night. The Cavaliers leading by 6. Here's Irving. Scores the bucket. He's 7 for 11 and continues to look good.
Well, here in the second, not as listless. They're showing some signs of life offensively.
You know, steadying themselves. After a tough start, they're back on track.
And the shot drops as they pick up 2 points from Mr. Fundamentals. Cleveland's gotten out from three-point land in the second quarter, going 4 of 5 from downtown. Now here's James, 11 points in the game. Right side, Irving. Offline with his 3. And so we wrap up the first half. Cavaliers lead by 6.
Kevin, I've got...
And thanks for joining us once more as we get set to continue our coverage of the Eastern Conference semis. You look at Freak in this game, he has been everywhere.
And how about his scoring in that first half? He just looked like a different player today, really on point.
Quite honestly, it's been a pleasant surprise for him. You know, he really hit on something that worked in those first 2 quarters, guys.
The big men are Bosch and Whiteside. Mr. Fundamentals is out. There with Dwayne Wade, and it's Winslow in at the 3. That's the group in the game for the Heat. Now here is Irving. Here's the screen. That counts. He's put up 13 shots, and he's had 8 of those go in.
Not fazed at all by having a bigger defender on him down low, and I really thought he would be.
You know, at first glance, you wouldn't think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation, but boy, I tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there.
And Bradley gets it to go. The Heat trail by 8. Wade on the wing, guarded by Bradley. The layup missed. The Cavaliers shooting well, 50% from the floor. Up the floor, and that one's good. And that's now 20 points for Kyrie Irving.
Wow, the floor just really opened up for him on that possession.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for good offense, but that was just a terrible reaction from the defense.
We got to be more physical on defense. They are getting to the middle of the floor way too easy. Get into them on the perimeter. Posts. Rotate over and make your presence felt. Quit being so soft.
Jody Meeks, he's checked in for Mr. Fundamentals. And Cleveland also making a change. With some changes, Amari Stoudemire is checked in for Whiteside. Josh McRoberts comes in for Chris Bosh. And Mr. Fundamentals subbed in for Winslow. Let's take this chance now to show you the list of the postseason scoring leaders. Kyrie Irving 3rd, 4th, Freak.
And whether it's been attacking off the bounce or pulling up, both these guys have been lighting it up.
Just over 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half.
Move the ball. Stick it too much.
And James pulls it down.
Well, they've only got a slight edge in rebounding when you look at the numbers, but it certainly feels a lot bigger than it is.
Yeah, the score has a lot to do with that. Their overall effort and execution has been elite.
And now we can see them really working it inside.
Yeah, Clark, quality looks at the rim. That's fueling this run.
There's the screen, and Meeks kicks to Stoudemire. Nice work there coming off the screen. Stoudemire's got 5 points so far.
You can't afford to get him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
They grab their own miss. Cowan. That's a 2 from Dellavedova. Cans the shot with nobody near him. Dellavedova's got the lead up to 12 now for Cleveland. Here's Mr. Fundamentals. Plays it up and banks it in. Mr. Fundamentals got 20.
And the shooting has really been there for him today, but he may have to take it upon himself to continue to carry this team and try and get out of this hole.
Gets it down to single digits. And that's now 9 points for Wade. The Cavaliers leading by 8. LeBron outside. To the inside. Rebound by the Heat.
You rarely see him missing dunks, but the defender was right in his face on that one, and it threw him off just enough. You know, that's a case there, Kevin, of him making a pass to a spot, and then he let his teammate run right into it. Well executed.
Here's Dellavedova. Oh, and a fast break for the Heat. Here's Mr. Fundamentals. The fast break ends at the rim with a jam.
And you can sense things now starting to tighten up. Their offense has become unstoppable.
And, Greg, I'm not quite sure why it took him as long as it did to finally get things going, but as we always say, better late than never.
Here's Dellavedova. Following the score by Miami, and the shot is good. And the Cavaliers lead by 6.
Very well executed pick to give him all kinds of space to get that one off.
A different look for Miami. Fan comes in for Josh McRoberts, and it's Dragic in for Jody Meeks. Thompson, he's checked in for Cleveland. Mr. Fundamentals. Miami no good on that time either.
Another rebound hauled in. They're hitting the glass with a lot of passion.
Guys, that's been the key to their lead. I mean, simply put, the effort they've displayed on the glass has been the difference.
And he gets it to go. The Heat trail by 8. And counts the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
The defense not putting up any fight on the inside. They've allowed 10 straight points in the paint.
That's not the kind of streak you want to be part of defensively. Tighten it up, fellas.
Jeff Withey, he's checked in for Cleveland. Bradley comes in for Matthew Dellavedova. Now here's Bradley. 7 points in the game. They set the screen. Fires for 3. Good, and the assist goes to James. James has got his 7th assist in the game.
Boy, what a half from the field they're having. They're going to extend that lead if they stay this high.
Yeah, they've taken it up a notch. Clark looking very confident right now.
Shot is good, and the Cavaliers lead cut down to just 6 points, and the bucket from Mr. Fundamentals.
And what a move, guys. I mean, he's absolutely embarrassing them out there right now.
Well, that's an ankle breaker, Greg. You know that. And then he calmly knocked it down. Sweet. They haven't been as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half. They're playing smart with the lead. I like that. They're being very selective and deliberate in their offense. And that's a good strategy when you're on top.
And now it's Bradley running. He can go all the way, and he finished it off with a lay-in. And it's a 10-point Cavalier lead.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they've built this lead for themselves here.
Puts up a 3. And a rebound goes to the Cavaliers. James has got his 3rd rebound tonight.
He had a couple in the first, but so far he's been unable to get uncorked here.
About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. And he goes in for the dunk.
This is a nice third quarter surge here. They've got it going right now.
And a perfect time to get hot, just as we get into the meat of the second half here.
Here's Mr. Fundamentals. Three-pointer. He got it up that time, but and we're set to get